Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger. So you may have heard of Them's Fightin' Herds, a surprise announcement to the new online version of Evo. Now, Them's Fightin' Herds has actually been around in various shapes and forms over the last quite a while, but since to most people this is a brand new game as far as they're concerned, they just heard of it thanks to the Evo announcement, I decided to take a look at the game and just learn what it's all about. And with that said, hey, let's look at just what kind of game this is. So hey, it's a fighting game, obviously enough, right? So we have 6 characters currently. I do believe they're adding more, and I know, yeah, 6 characters isn't a lot by the usual fighting game standards, but there is quite a bit of depth here, and we'll go into the gameplay systems in a bit. Let's showcase the characters off first, though. We have Velvet, who in my time seems to be a hard zoner. Tianhuo, hopefully I'm saying that correctly, who's like super hardcore rushdown, all sorts of like instant overheads and all sorts of all that nonsense. Oleander, who's basically a trap zoner. Arizona, who's like kind of the bruiser, has a lot of super armor, also KOF style short hops. Paprika, who's just a nut. That's really all I can say. This character is nutty. And Palm, who this terrified little sheep, has a bunch of sheep herding dogs she summons. Very reminiscent of like a Arxis puppet character like Carl or something like that, if you ever played that. We'll show, this character's nuts. We'll show that off. We'll show off the characters in a little bit here. But yeah, so let's go over now just, what is the basic gameplay systems of this game? So to start off here, this is indeed a 4-button game. We have light, medium, and heavy buttons, which of course, are a little bit different character to character to be sure. And we have the magic button. And the magic button is very similar to like someone's drive or trade or whatever, games like BlazBlue or Injustice have. It's very unique character to character what they can do. So Paprika can shoot stuff at the enemy here. Somewhat similar to Faust and Guilty Gear. I saw a potted plant here, this bit of broccoli on the ground here. Well, we can just eat that. And all sorts of stuff. A cinnamon roll? Sure. Why not, right? Very similar to like Birdie's can in Street Fighter V. So basically tossing a lot of garbage on the screen that does a lot of different effects. That is Paprika's magic button, and everyone else's all plays by all sorts of different rules. There seems to be some universal stuff in this game, like forward and light seems to be a dedicated anti-A for every character, and down, forward, and C, the heavy button here, is a universal launcher. Combo structure wise reminds me a lot of like Darkstalkers 3 / Vampire Savior, where you can go like stand, crouch, stand, crouch, stand, crouch, that kind of deal. But yeah, generally speaking, you can kind of think of it like versus style, where you can go like A, B, C, launch, A, B, C, land, combo, that kind of stuff, right? Now, I myself, I'm very much a novice at the combo structure here. It's very freeform, which is very good, but when it's very freeform, it's kind of hard to know some of the more optimal stuff, right? So this is another character here that has a King of Fighters style short hops versus, like a regular jump. So I can do something like this, like A, B, C, launch. This is a charge move, by the way. This is a charge character. Also has forward charges, just like say Unil, whatever you want to call it now. But yeah, so do that into like a short hop. Into some kind of like spike down there. Now you might notice when I'm hitting the enemy, there's a bit of a green bar filling up over here. And that is basically your hit stun decay meter. So whenever you fill it up to full, like regardless of the combo you do, because once again, combos are quite freeform in this game here. Like I can just like relaunch right away, right? So like technically I'd be able to infinite, but once you fill it up, they're allowed to drop out. So it's all about just maximizing your damage and that kind of stuff. At least as far as I know right now. So yeah, if you are a combo monkey kind of person, this game should be up your alley because combo stuff is incredibly freeform, and the only limit you have to work against is basically the hit stun decay meter, and other than that, whatever you can dream up, seemingly you can do it. Now, actually, before we go any further, I do want to mention this game actually has a very, very well done tutorial system. So if you're newer to fighting games, this is one of the better tutorials I've seen. Goes over a lot of like universal stuff, the basics, sure. As you can see here, there's stuff for every character specifically. And they get pretty cute with it, I'm not gonna lie here. Like we have a section here about frame data. So as you can see here, It's pretty cute. But yeah, it actually goes pretty well in depth, explaining, the ins and outs of, hitboxes, hurt boxes, frame data, all that kind of stuff, on top of the usual beginner level topics, which help everybody out. So this game has a little bit of a background as far as I know. So this actually started as like an unlicensed My Little Pony fighting game called Fighting is Magic. Now, of course, big corporations really love unlicensed knockoffs of their games, right? So they shut that down pretty quick, to say the least. However, that all said, the game kind of moved onwards. So obviously enough, Hasbro hit him with the big old cease and desist, but it turns out the actual My Little Pony Friendship is Magic creator wound up on their side, and the game kept going, and the My Little Pony creator is actually the person who designed all the characters in this game. So not really a My Little Pony person myself, but it's quite the arc, I think you would agree. So hey, let's have a quick look at the characters here. So let's look at Velvet first. So Velvet's basically the hard zoner of the game as far as I can tell. Her magic button, trade button, is like this super ripping quick projectile. And yeah, the magic, you can't spam it in this game, but still, it's there. For basic projectiles, you have a quarter circle forward, light, medium, heavy series. So something like that's the light. The heavier the button, the more it gets delayed. So the heavy, hey, that's pretty delayed, right? And of course, you can do whatever you want while this is happening, right? So lots of pressure, lots of stuff to work with. The quarter circle back series, light version is like a retreating attack here. Medium is just a big old launch, and heavy, like, I don't even really know what to make of this, but it looks pretty vicious actually. Besides that, all sorts of magic stuff here, more ice spikes. You can shoot like basically hidden missiles from any direction. So like you can shoot them full screen here. You can have them land on top of people's heads. You can have them come from the opposite end of the screen towards you. So yeah, not to be a full breakdown or anything, but yeah, definitely a zoner. Tianhuo is basically like the all-out aggression character. Just tons of stuff here. Also has like the Akira Yuki shoulder charge from Virtua Fighter, which I'm a big fan of personally. Trait-wise, all about mobility here. Like air mobility, all that kind of stuff. Also, this character, by the way, is a character that can instant air dash. Instant air dash is not normal in this game, or just air dashing normally, but yeah. So that kind of mobility. If you hit back and trait, it's like a little short hop, but like different than the other short hop stuff. And it allows for very quick overheads, as you can see here. So, have fun blocking this character. And apparently this character's been nerfed many times over, and is still pretty strong. Also, being a dragon, has this fun little bit, because it does have a dragon install, as you can see here, and which basically turbocharges the character, and you can go from there. But yeah, name of this character is Offense, Offense, Offense. So Oleander, to me, reads as a trap zoner, has, basic fireball potential and all that kind of stuff, air okay as well. And also, hey, can kind of lay these landmines down. And it was stressed to me heavily, so I'll just bring it up here. Even though this character uses dark magic, it's for good, not for evil. Even though the person who's given the character dark magic is evil. I don't know. I don't know the whole thing. However, the dark person is called Fred, and Fred's kind of a jerk. But besides that, yeah, we got trap zoning stuff. We got all sorts of teleport shenanigans. We can lay down some big stuff, toss big fireballs. Also can charge. The more you charge, the more magic you build. If you're already full of magic, my understanding is you build super instead. The character looks pretty whacked out on drugs when you're doing the charge, which I just find pretty funny, honestly. But yeah, definitely big time trap zoner, fill the screen with garbage, and just kind of go from there. At least that's my initial impression. Arizona is basically the big boy archetype in this game, at least as far as I can tell. So has a lot of aggressive stuff, has a proper run. A lot of characters in the game just dash, they don't run, has the short hop. And has like Jack's ground pounds, as you can see here. Can launch people up and just really smash on the ground. Has a bit of a Rekka series. Has a range command grab as the trait, or the magic if you will. Has various versions as well. Can like be like a low, at least I think it's a low. Can knock people out of the sky here with an aerial version. And has a super armor into wall splats too. So if you want to be big, dumb, and belligerent, as far as I can tell, this is the character to do it with. We went over this a little bit earlier in the video, but Paprika, a very oddball character to say the least, has charge attacks here, reminiscent of like a Balrog or something, can launch, can hit, can overhead, all that fun stuff here. Has reverse charge for teleports here. Be same side, other side, or just like kind of land on their head, that kind of stuff. All sorts of item summons and all that kind of wackiness, which is really cool and interesting. If you manage to get your level 2 super off, you can summon a basket that lets you basically summon, not an infinite amount, but a high amount of garbage. Much more than your magic bar would normally limit you to. Has command grabs as well, this non-consensual kiss, which my understanding is Kotaku did not like, but I'm fine with, because it's a lamb or a goat or whatever, I don't really care. But yeah, so this is a command grab from which, hey, you can follow up on all that cool stuff. And we have Palm, and Palm is definitely, mechanically speaking, definitely the most interesting character in this game. One, this character is animated beautifully. The character is like perpetually terrified, which I'm a big fan of. Just always looking around like, what's going on here? And Palm has the puppies. And the puppies, well, there's a lot of them. More than a few. There's a couple. More than a couple. As you can see, they can even take to the skies, and she can build a whole army with them. And from there, they can do a lot of different things, as you can see here. And not only that, you have Big Mama as well. And Big Mama is kind of the real deal. And on top of having Big Mama, you also have Big Papa. And between Big Mama, Big Papa, you know, helicopter dogs and the whole family, you got a lot of pet stuff you can do, a lot of summons, a lot of tricks, and all that kind of fun stuff, to say the least. Also, this character has some really big normals, as you can see here. Like, this normal is ridiculous. His jump H, it's redonkulous. On top of that, also has air dashes, can do a lot of the usual shenanigans with air dashes will allow you to do, all that kind of fun stuff. But yeah, this character is all about just setting up the dogs and going from there. Definitely too advanced for my poor brain to figure out this early on, but I love everything about this character, I just gotta say. So yeah, it's just a brief look at this game here. Very quality online play as well. That's one of the big reasons why it's at Evo right now, because Evo no longer has any patience for games that have crap online, because hey, online's the way we got to do it right now, right? So great online. Does have a story mode that's being expanded on. They'll be adding more in the future. And quality practice mode, quality tutorials. Gameplay is fun. The characters seem pretty deep. There may be not a lot of characters, but they seem pretty deep by my reckoning. So all in all, hey, this game's actually kind of cool, honestly. It's also pretty cheap, and if I have my understanding correctly, there is a Humble Bundle package that's on discount right now. So check the video description. I'll see if I can find a link for it. And yeah, so that's them's Fighting Herd. So if you only heard of it thanks to the Evo announcement, maybe now you know a little bit more, and honestly, this game's kind of neat. And other than that, my friends, hey, I guess that's the end of this video. So hey, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video's found you well, and hey, maybe go out and play them's Fighting Herds.